Welcome back to Nets Republic. Second video in a day, so nice to see you again. When do y'all think Bron's going to break the record? I think it's going to be in the third quarter. We saw him take the first shot. I think it's going to be in the third quarter, but that's neither here nor there. You can tell I really care about y'all because I am here making this video when I should be watching history, but that's neither here nor there. We'll have LeBron discussions over the summer, I guess, when things get a little dry and there's nothing to talk about. But we've got a game to discuss. Welcome back to Nets Republic. I'm your host, Sever the Bond. They lost. But again, much like last game, and last night actually, even though they lost, it was a spectacular loss if there is such a thing. We only lost by like 5 points, really? Was it 5 or 3? It got down to a one-possession game. And I'd say, aside from Cam Thomas's questionable decision to miss on purpose, I thought he played a flawless game. This was another effort where he dropped 40 points. He has dropped 40 points 3 games in a row. Again, I don't really know what more Cam has to do. I'm happy he's starting, but I hope that continues to be the case. And I think the best way to go about it is when Spencer Dinwiddie and Finney, whoever, comes back, I think we should put Spencer Dinwiddie at the 1 and put Cam Thomas at 2. And that's regardless who's here after Thursday. It does not matter to me. Cam Thomas should continue to be the shooting guard. You can't have someone this lethal and this talented. And we're going up against really good teams with veteran presence and such. Cam Thomas is doing this against Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and DeAndre Hunter. Hunter? Oops, that's the Hawks. Who's that bum? I done forgot man's name. Who's the tall dude? DeAndre Ayton, my bad. Ayton. Hunter's on the Hawks. Seventh Bond exposed. Listen, he did this against elite talent. Now, their record might not show it, but they've all been hurt, and we already know what's good with the storylines over in Phoenix. But I have to say Cam Thomas has nothing left to prove in my eyes, and I don't think we have a single person on the roster more talented than him outside of Kevin Durant. And again, it doesn't matter who we trade for or what we do. As long as Cam Thomas is on the team, he should be starting. You gotta make it work. If Spencer Dinwiddie's gotta come off the bench because you want to continuously let Ben Simmons start, then it is what it is. But Cam Thomas has to continue to start. If Joe Harris gets to start, Cam Thomas gets to start. And it is as simple as that. I don't think there's any debates. I don't think there's any room for anything. Now, hopefully he's still on the team after Thursday, but we, just have to cross our fingers and hope that the Nets organization is not as stupid as they appear to be. But that is neither here nor there. Claxton played as well as he could against a force like that. What really ended up happening to me, in my personal view, is that right now Jacques Vaughn is going with the whole mentality of just go out there and have fun and fight really hard, but he's not really doing anything to align us to a win. What I mean by that is there are no schemes, there are no real plays being run. It's just, let Cam Thomas do whatever he wants, and y'all just make up for it and have fun. And I think Jacques Vaughn is doing it because he doesn't know what team he's going to have night to night, and he's still trying to think of ways of how he's going to fit in Spencer and them, again, assuming they are on the team after tomorrow. And I think we're just letting Cam do what he does. Hopefully, he's not auditioning for other teams and we just don't know it. But I think Jacques Vaughn is just kind of letting him cook. But the fact that it's basically ISO Cam over and over and over again with each possession, it's just incredible to me that he's having an output like this. Now, we'll get back to Cam Thomas in a quick second because really there's nothing more I can add to that. We've kind of spoken this into existence. It's good to see him starting. And again, I want everyone who's been beating their chest saying, oh, I've been said Cam this or you've been said Cam that, be a little louder because the naysayers ignored us for a very long time, for a fortnight, if you will. They ignored our cries for Cam Thomas to start. Every time we even suggested it, people laughed us out the room. Y'all would have rather wanted Patty Mills to continue to start than give Cam Thomas any meaningful minutes. We've been begging for Cam to start for at least a full calendar year at this point. Some people longer, but it took me the middle of last year. I'd say when Kyrie gave the whole team COVID and it was just the kids out there, I said, oh no, Cam's the real deal for real. Since then, I've been on the let him start train, especially in this era where we really should be considering blowing it up. And again, for people who are new, who don't know what I mean by blow it up, I don't mean get rid of the whole team and start from scratch. I'm talking about have some form of belief and confidence in the young stars that we have and watch them blossom into something bigger. We are watching Cam Thomas skyrocket to the top before our very eyes. Like, he's ready right now. He's ready to lead the team right now. Just like how you couldn't ignore the greatness of Claxton, you can't ignore what Cam Thomas is doing. He's ready to go right now. And if you're telling me that he still has maturing to do, we're talking about someone who just scored 40 points 3 times in a row. You're telling me he has room to get better? This isn't his ceiling? My God. I say we've got our own version of Devin Booker, if you will. I'll take it back to a time period and a past life where I was covering the other New York team. We had something very similar in a player named Alonzo Trier. And oh, if they would have just gave him a chance, the things that would have been accomplished. But this man is just on and again, I can't state this enough. Cam Thomas has scored 40 points 3 games in a row. I don't think we're making a big enough deal about this. I don't think we're making a big enough deal about this. 40 points, 3 consecutive games in a row. We should be screaming this stuff from the rooftop, honestly. But that's not here nor there. Now it's the part of the video where we talk about Ben Simmons. Before we do that, make sure you subscribe if you're new here, and make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Much appreciated. Let's talk about Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, through the first quarter, did not attempt a shot whatsoever. And through the course of the night, I think he only attempted 3 shots. He hit one of them. That was a very lucky and one. It was like a twisting, like whisper in the wind type thing. It was Ben Simmons. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure what he does to a disturbing level. Like I've said multiple times, I'm not quite clear on what Ben Simmons does out there. But the level of concern I have is at like DEFCON 15. Is 1 the highest? Or do you go higher and I don't know how Navy stuff is that Navy? I don't know. You get what I'm trying to say? I don't know what the proper term is for the level of concern I have for Ben Simmons, but it's reached a peak. It's reached a crescendo, if you will. If Ben Simmons plays so much defense, I want you to explain to me why Aiden almost had 50. I want you to explain that to me. If Ben Simmons plays such great defense, how are we not able to stop Aiden? Is he not our stand-in, switch him up center? Is that not what he does? Is he not our little Draymond Green? Is that not what his role is at this point? Not that I agree that should be, but is that not what he's here for? What did he do? I'm sure he got a bunch of assists, but what did he do? Outside of passing the ball, what did Ben Simmons do tonight? I mean, it's crazy to me. Sumner has the performance of his life, and you have him come off the bench so Ben Simmons can start. And I know what some of you are saying. You're looking at the devices you're watching me on and saying, 7-man, young 7-man, the youngest of the 7-men, the greatest there has ever been. How is it that you can sit there and make fun of the man for not playing, but when he does play, you say he's worthless? Let me explain something to you. That is a Ben Simmons problem, not a sever the bond issue. Should he have been out there when we allegedly needed his services? Yes, absolutely. But if he is out there and he's doing absolutely nothing whatsoever, he deserves to be slandered. And this just goes towards my personal narrative of let's really investigate the possibility of blowing this up. You want to talk about dangling pieces out there to try and make some type of a move. I know his trade value is allegedly 0 according to Twitter, but there has to be someone that wants Ben Simmons. We have to get something for this man. You want to talk about moving Claxton? You want to talk about moving Cam Thomas? Move Ben for anything. Because with the addition of Spencer Dinwiddie, I truly think that's the help Cam needs. And notice how I'm saying the help that Cam needs, because Cam Thomas is the star of the team. I don't care if Kevin Durant comes back. The star of the team is Cam Thomas. And that should be the case going forward. We're not talking about someone who's just stepping up because options aren't there. We're talking about an individual who has been unleashed. This is someone who's finally getting a chance to show what he can do. Not step up in the absence of a star. He has been unleashed. It's the Cam Thomas hour. It's Cam Thomas's team. And it's as simple as that. So as I was saying, when Spencer Dinwiddie does make his re-debut, I believe his purpose is to be there to give help to Cam. Because Cam Thomas can't do it by himself. Can't nobody do it by himself except for Braun. Fun fact, I'm a very secret Braun stan, but that's not here nor there. Listen! I don't think it's fair to Cam Thomas to ask him to do it on his own. And that's why the help that I believe is on the way for him should be enough to handle it. Should be enough to get the job done. I'm sure you can get something amazing for Kevin Durant. Every news outlet is saying that the Nets have no interest in moving Kevin Durant, but I think we should consider it. I can't, and I told myself I wasn't going to make the same video 3 times, but it's just so difficult to when you see games like this. Again, even though we lost, wasn't this just a great game to watch? And I'm telling you, you give Cam just a sliver of help in Spencer Dinwiddie, I'd love to see where this team can go. I'd love to see where this team can go. And imagine if you trade Kevin Durant, what we can get back for him. Then that's even more help for Cam. I'm all aboard. I know some of y'all aren't. Some of y'all have the mindset of, oh, when are you gonna get another Kevin Durant? We have one in Cam Thomas. Again, I don't know what more he has to do to show that this is a generational talent. This isn't just sever the bond has formed an attachment to a role player with potential. I'm talking about Buddy's already cooking. 40 points, 3 games in a row. Much like last night's video, I'm not going to drag this out too long. Partially because I want to go back to watching Braun, but from the standpoint of we don't know who's going to be on the team after Thursday at 3 p.m. Let's look to our next game to see when that is, so we can try to speculate on what specifically we have to look forward to here. And when we're going to see each other again, of course. Let's see. Our next game is, Jesus, it's Thursday. Okay. And on TNT again? Ugh. Okay. It's Thursday against the Chicago Bulls at 7:30. We will know by the time our next game begins what the situation is. Now, as far as time constraints and how things are going to go, if something happens on Thursday, right, I will try my best to get the video out as soon as I can. It's just a little weird because we play on the same day, but I'll try my best to get the video out as soon as possible. But I want to wait for whatever happens to happen and then wait for the aftermath and the dust to settle so I can get all the information I need. Then I'll make a reaction to it. So if something happens at 9 in the morning or something like that, I'll wait till closer till the end of the day to say something on it. But that's not even there. And if something happens tomorrow, just wait for me to get back from work. But anyway, I will see y'all whenever that something inevitably happens, or if nothing happens, of course. Or if nothing happens. And we'll see where we go from there. Until then, I am Sever the Bond. You're on Nets Republic. Cam Thomas. Y'all want to talk about trading for stars and all that? We kind of already have one. You know what I mean? We kind of already have one. But we'll see what the Nets do. Let's go, bro.